Hello, everybody. Coley Mahaffey here. Today we are here to talk about some hot topics. By this I mean, what groups in the United States would I support if I became president, and which ones would I necessarily not support? And also, what are my opinion? So, we're going to talk about three main groups here. The communists, the neo-Nazis, sons of Confederate veterans along with daughters of Confederate veterans, I already said communist, LGBTQ+, Black Lives Matter, and all of this jazz. So first up, here's what I'm going to say. Every group who actually did something, necessarily, like fought for something, lost somebody, necessarily, lost a lot of people in a tragedy, maybe do deserve a little bit of representation. That is one thing I will say, because it's like for example, Black Lives Matter. Slavery, they've had revolts to help break apart slavery and stuff. They deserve monuments and stuff. They deserve remembrance. But groups necessarily that think they deserve it without even doing anything, yeah, no. So I'm going to start with our first one, Black Lives Matter. I will say, Black lives do matter. Every life, I believe, in the United States matters. No matter if you're black, white, Mexican, Canadian, German, Chinese. I really, every life matters. However, and I'm not saying Black Lives Matter is the only ones who are doing this. Many white people, which we'll explain later, and many other groups do this. A lot of groups have rioted. And one thing in America that I'm going to, as your president, make sure doesn't happen is riots. Riots are a horrible thing for this country because they cause this country to be divided and almost break. And it really is pointless that people riot. It really does tick me off to see our country rioting all over the place. There's Los Angeles, Minnesota, all over the place. I will say I support Black Lives Matter. I support Black Lives. But some of the things Black Lives Matter has done, I do not support. So that group, if I had to put it on a scale of 1 to 10, 10 being I fully support it, 1 being I don't fully support it at all, I would probably put them at a 7.5. Because I support Black Lives. I don't support some of the stuff that group has done. Next up, LGBTQ+. This is one of the groups I've mentioned. I was going to try to mention for you act like you need monuments and stuff, but you really have not sacrificed a lot. And I might be wrong. You might have some evidence that I don't know that you might be able to prove me wrong. But I will say, in a lot of things I've seen and see y'all in public do, is when somebody else speaks out against y'all heard that person and treat them like they literally just killed your family. You treat people who disagree with your opinion, some of y'all, I'm not saying all of them are, a lot of them are nice, but some of them treat people with no respect. And I know there are some people who don't treat y'all with their respect, but it doesn't mean y'all treat them back with that. One thing every person should know, that they should have learned while they were in kindergarten, is 2 wrongs don't make a right. If you get hit by somebody and you hit them back, well, actually, that's not a good example. If a group of people, one of the people from that group comes and hits you, you do not have the right to go hit the entire group of people. If you're in a group and there's another group, and y'all start beating the crap out of each other, all of y'all are getting arrested. That's just how it works. So I will say, y'all's group has done a lot of things I don't like. I've seen a lot of videos where people have just tried to speak out their opinion, and y'all treat them like rubbish. For this one goes at 4, because there are some people I do know who I am okay with, who I'm not upset with them. But there's a lot more I have seen that do not treat people with respect, and who are horrible people. Well, bad people. I'm not going to say horrible people. Our next group is the neo-Nazis. Need I explain? Basically, it's the Nazis of this generation, of this new world, the modern age. I don't support you at all. Nazism is a horrible cancer to society. And quite frankly, with Nazism around, we're never going to make a mutual agreement. And let alone, not only Nazism, but anti-Semitism. Just, it's not good. This entire society, I believe, a lot of people in it have been plagued by these anti-Semitist and neo-Nazi thoughts. And even nowadays, Nazi's just like a common insult you use. Like, if I don't like somebody, apparently it's okay if I just go like, you're a Nazi, because I think your opinion is horrible, so I don't like you because you're a Nazi now. It's pointless and stupid. Nazis don't deserve any remembrance, in my opinion. You fought for a cause that was horrible. If you wanted a memorial, it's not going to be in America. I'll guarantee that as if I'm a president. That if you want a memorial, it's not going to be here in this country. And I'm going to make sure of that. You are allowed to have freedom of expression. And I can't stop a person waving a swastika flag. But I can stop people trying to make this place a Nazi country. Now, next one is the communist. I've explained this in the last video we did. We are not allowing communism to take over this country. Communists love murdering people. There's people who come fresh out of college and their professors like, oh yes, communism is this magic ideology that has persevered through the ages and all people are united under one similar cause. It's not that. I mentioned Stalin killed 20 million of his people. Mao Zedong, supposedly one of the greatest communist leaders ever, killed 60 million people. And Kim Jong-un continues to kill people just for fun. He can be like, today's a good day to kill a couple thousand people. No biggie. It's stupid, and these communist leaders can come after me if they want. But they are the worst people you could ever meet. And yet people here today still wave a Soviet flag saying communism's the greatest. Like I said earlier, I can't stop I said it about Nazism, not communism. But I can't stop you from waving a flag of a communist country. But I can stop communism from becoming part of our country, like the main ideology of our country. America has been a democracy for 250 years, and it will continue to be a democracy for the rest of its life. Next up, the Ku Klux Klan. Another horrible... Oh, by the way, for Nazis and communism, y'all have a 1. I don't support y'all's groups at all. Same thing for the Ku Klux Klan, y'all have a 1 as well. The Ku Klux Klan is a horrible, horrible thing, and they literally murder innocent black people just because they're the color of their skin, and now it's even Jews and Catholics. They murder them just because of their belief. I mean, that's exactly what Hitler did as well. Like, if you were a Jew, he didn't like you, so you got killed. You got sent to a work camp. The Ku Klux Klan, they just kill you right off the bat after beating the living snot out of you. I mean, their entire startup was because they wanted African Americans to stop voting for the Republican Party and start voting for the Democrat Party. Now, allow me to elaborate, because people are going to be like, why would the Ku Klux Klan support the Democrats? Have they not seen the Democrat Party? The Democrats back then were a lot more racist and wanted segregation and stuff like that. Nowadays, I can't explain what they are. And meanwhile, the Republicans were more like anti-segregation, pro-union, stuff like that. All people are equal. And nowadays, they're the Republican Party. But, so that's why a lot of the Ku Klux Klan members who were racist and were Democrat were like, if you don't vote for this guy, who's a Democrat, we will execute you or beat the crap out of you and your family. And they did it in the middle of the night, so it was scary as crap. But it is a very scary place, and it is highly out of my sport, so it's got a 1. Next one, Sons and Daughters of Confederacy and general Confederate supporters. I will say, the Confederacy fought and died for some causes that were true, other causes were not. Slavery is a horrible institution, and therefore it does not need to be supported. However, some people did not own slaves and could care less about having slaves. Could care more, necessarily, because care less means you have a lot of care about it, you care about it a lot, and you could care less about it. A lot of Confederate soldiers, including actually ancestors I had who were veterans of the Confederate Army, did not own slaves. In fact, I think it was recorded only about 25% of actually all the 5 million white people in the Confederacy owned slaves. I'm not sure if there were any African American slaves. There were actually African American. I didn't mean to say slaves, I meant masters. There were actually a couple African American slave owners, believe it or not. No, I don't think in the Confederacy, but in like Haiti there was before, when it was a French colony and stuff. But basically, what I'm going to openly say, they do deserve monuments, but I will say, the Confederate flag, the battle flag, the normal flag, does not belong on a state flag or a federal government building. I don't believe these statues that they have up should be damaged and destroyed, necessarily, but I don't believe that they should be tearing down Confederate statues. Also, school names, because I know that a lot of people have seen that before. Obviously, if you have a high African American population in that school, you can't have this school's name probably as like Robert E. Lee Elementary. Because a lot of the parents are going to be like, I don't want my kid going to some school that's named after a Confederate general, which understandably makes sense. The Confederate flag, I will talk about this for a split second, to me means heritage, home, and stuff like that. But I know to most people it's a symbol of horrible hatred. And there's a lot of examples I like to use on that. I will probably create a video about the Confederate flag and talk about it and stuff. We might talk about it tonight in my live stream. I'm not entirely sure yet. But it does not belong on state things. Like I said, freedom of expression is allowed. Is a new Confederacy going to come? No, I won't allow it. Because, quite frankly, a new Confederacy would not be good. It wouldn't. So that is why it doesn't belong. Overall, my support, because I do support the Confederacy, it's going to be an 8. Actually, we'll put it at a 7.5 with that stuff. Here's what I am going to say. If you're a Confederate supporter and you are committing racist and if you are doing racism and committing atrocities like that Charleston church shooter, I believe it was, who killed several African Americans and was a Confederate supporter, I will not support you. You are getting a 1. Because quite frankly, nobody should be getting murdered for your beliefs. You should not be killing people just because of their skin, their beliefs, or anything like that. That is uncalled for, and that is not the type of people I support. And therefore, that is why it needs to be gone and gotten rid of. Otherwise, I don't really know what else I want to talk about, because I don't really know any other major groups that's talked about a lot. If I find any more, I might make another video. But, yeah, that's today's video. Thank you guys for tuning in. Like and subscribe and turn on the notification bell, and I will see y'all later. Bye now.